Well, I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it when that happens. It could be big trouble.
Ukrainian forces conducted a precision strike on Russian positions at the railway station on the outskirts of Stepnohirsk in the Zaporizhzhia sector, using French-supplied AASM Hammer bombs. The target was a service building repurposed by Russian troops for military use, including command functions and troop accommodation. The Hammer system, which combines guidance kits with standard bombs, has proven highly effective against fortified positions, offering Ukraine the to hit with accuracy from a safe distance. Strikes like this not only eliminate concentrations of personnel and equipment, but also disrupt Russian command and control nodes vital for sustaining frontline operations. The use of advanced Western precision munitions highlights how Ukraine is adapting its air force for modern warfare, turning Soviet-era aircraft into capable strike platforms. The attack underlines a broader Ukrainian strategy to degrade Russian logistics and leadership hubs behind the lines, reducing the occupiers' ability to launch coordinated assaults and weakening their grip on the Zaporizhzhia axis. While the incursion into Estonian airspace by 3 Russian MiG-31s is the most serious such incident in 30 years, it's not the first time that it's happened. It also highlights a strategic vulnerability for Estonia. It does not have a fully agreed border with Russia. The incident happened this morning near the island of Vaindloo off Estonia's north coast. According to the Estonian Defense Forces, the 3 Russian aircraft spent 12 minutes in Estonian airspace at a depth of less than 10 kilometers, flying east to west. According to Estonia, the aircraft had no flight plans, and their transponders were switched off. At the time of the violation, they also lacked two-way radio communication with Estonian air traffic control. NATO forces responded to the incursion. Finland, Estonia, and Italy were all involved in the response. The aircraft were first intercepted by Finnish Air Force fighters, which were then joined by Italian Air Force F-35 fighters to escort the border violators out of Estonian airspace to the Kaliningrad region. Vaindloo is a small uninhabited island in the Gulf of Finland, comprised of a ridge of stony glacial moraine in a very shallow part of the sea. It is also Estonia's northernmost point. A lighthouse, an Estonian border guard post, and a famous boulder are located there. As this aeronautical chart shows, Vaindloo is just within the St. Petersburg Flight Information Region. However, the Estonia-Russia demarcation line takes a detour to the north, around Vaindloo. Estonian airspace south of the line from Vaindloo to Narva is restricted. While the actual flight track of the intruding aircraft does not seem to have been published so far, it's likely that they cut through the Vaindloo angle in transit from Russian to international airspace over the Gulf of Finland, though evidently taking their time to do so. Estonian airspace over Vaindloo has been violated repeatedly since 2014, although usually for less than a minute, possibly attributable to navigational errors. However, this is the third and by far the longest incursion just this year. The other two were 22nd June 2025, a Russian Ministry of Emergency Situations. IL-76 transport aircraft entered Estonian airspace near Vaindloo for 4 minutes. It had filed a flight plan and its transponder was switched on, but it lacked two-way communication with Estonian air traffic control. 7 September 2025. A Russian Mi-8 helicopter entered Estonian airspace near Vaindloo for 4 minutes. Like the MiG-31 incursion, it had no flight plan, its transponder was turned off, and it was not in two-way radio contact with Estonian air traffic control. Additionally, on 26 July 2025, a Russian Svetliak-class border guard vessel, Sochi 500, entered Estonian territorial waters east of Vaindloo and remained up to half a kilometer inside the boundary for 35 minutes. Estonia's international border with Russia runs along the old Soviet administrative boundary between the Russian and Estonian Soviet Socialist republics. It was unilaterally demarcated by the Russian authorities in 1994 before being agreed by both sides in 1995. Further negotiations resulted in a new border agreement in 2014, but neither side has ratified it. there are still a number of disputes between Estonia and Russia over parcels of land on each side of the border. For this reason, Estonia still refers to the border as a temporary line of control. Russia likely sees it as a possible means of putting pressure on Estonia, as it has said that it will only ratify the 2014 agreement once bilateral relations constructively improve. When asked if Russian fighter jets entering Estonian airspace pose a threat to NATO, Trump-style response, "I don't like when that happens. It could cause big trouble. I'll be briefed on it."
Russian jets entered Estonia's airspace today for 12 minutes. Do you see that as a threat to NATO?
Well, I'm going to have to look at it. They're going to be briefing me in a short while, so I'll let you know about it tonight or tomorrow.
What's your take in general?
Well, I don't love it. I don't love it when that happens. It could be big trouble, but I'll let you know later. They're going to brief me in about an hour.
And a follow-up on Charlie.
And on the front, Ukrainian fighters of the 210th Separate Assault Brigade destroyed Russian equipment north of Vasilivka in Zaporizhzhia. Ukrainian drones, notably FPV attack drones and loitering munitions, hit Russian vehicles, artillery and supply trucks with pinpoint strikes on vulnerable tops and engines, degrading mobility and logistics. And this is in footage of Ukrainian fighters from the 18th Guard Sloviansk Brigade of the National Guard hunting Russian occupiers in Chasiv Yar at night. Ukraine has established clear dominance in drone warfare despite Russia's larger military by turning agility, innovation, and scale of production into force multipliers. Ukrainian forces deploy a varied arsenal: low-cost commercially built FPV attack drones, purpose-built loitering munitions, and reconnaissance quadcopters to overwhelm Russian air defenses, strike logistics and soft-top vehicles, and provide real-time targeting. Decentralized manufacturing and rapid field iteration keep losses sustainable. Damaged or shot-down drones are frequently replaced within days. Tactics emphasize swarming, layered reconnaissance to attack chains, and small unit autonomy, letting infantry and drone crews coordinate strikes without waiting for higher command. The psychological effect is acute. Russian troops report constant harassment from small, fast aircraft, describing a situation where multiple drones shadow every frontline soldier, degrading morale and complicating movement. Ultimately, Ukraine's mix of innovation, mass deployment, and tactical integration has turned drones from niche tools into a decisive means of attrition and disruption. Russian soldiers shot and killed 3 elderly civilians in the occupied village of Kozachi-Laheri, Kherson region, according to Astra. Viktor and Olha Hladky, along with their neighbor Viktor Nadiev, were executed after trying to protect one another during a drunken raid. Locals say the victims were left lying dead in their home for a day, while no one dared to intervene.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.